How's it going, guys? It's Brian. So, just an update. I did trade in the Ecoboost Mustang yesterday and traded it in for my current car. And I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. I will tell you what it is, but I'm first just going to turn on the car and give you a second to take a guess as to what I got. So without further ado, oh. That's right. That's right. That's right. So yeah, guys, this is my new, to me, 2017 Ford Mustang GT50 base. I traded in my 2015 Mustang Ecoboost Premium with the performance package for this. And I traded it into Carvana. I really couldn't turn down the offer because they gave me a really good price for my trade-in for my Mustang, and it gave me a pretty considerable down payment. So I dropped the hammer on it. You may have remembered that in that video I mentioned it was on Christmas Eve, but obviously I uploaded it yesterday. That was because there were some setbacks with Carvana. I'm not going to dive too far into what happened with them, but make a long story short, they bait and switched me with the delivery date. I had a delivery date set for December 30th, and when I tried to check the reschedule just for the heck of it, they showed some earlier dates, and I tried to click those, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh no, now we can't get it to you until January 5th. I ended up picking it up instead of having it delivered for reasons I'll get into in another video. I want to do a separate video about my Carvana experience because it's still technically pending. I have to get the registration for this guy, and that's the biggest hurdle with Carvana. But anyway, without further ado, we'll go over some of the features. So on the outside, it is a base, so there's not much going on. I don't think these wheels are the base wheels, or they may be a different variety of the base. The base wheels that I've seen are a lot more basic and not very aesthetically pleasing. These ones are all right, but I'm probably going to swap them out. They're definitely not like the 19-inch premium wheels that came on my Ecoboost Mustang, and it's not lowered, so it looks a little bit different, but you know, it is what it is. It's got the 5.0 badge, so I think these guys stock came with LED headlights, and they came with the fogs, which I was really happy about because I think fogs are really cool. The base model also comes with these hood vents, which my Ecoboost did not have, which is pretty cool. It comes with a spoiler, and also, surprisingly, this guy, I'm not sure if my camera is going to pick up on it, but this guy came with an aftermarket exhaust. It's an MBRP, and I'm not sure. I was trying to look and see. I can't tell if it's I think it is. Yeah, I think this is a catback. So it's an MBRP catback exhaust. Looks like the H pipe goes all the way back. So that was a pleasant surprise, considering I left my Borla Attack axle backs on the Ecoboost because they were welded on, and I wasn't going to get into that. And this just saves me some money in the long run because I don't have to worry about doing any exhaust work. In the video you heard it, it sounds amazing. It's definitely no 2.3 Ecoboost motor, but we'll go on to the inside. So again, it's a base, so downgraded from leather interior to cloth. Not the end of the world. These seats are actually pretty comfortable, and the bolstering is pretty snug. So no more My Ford Touch. It's downgraded to the base media center, infotainment center. It has a tiny screen. It's not touchscreen. It looks pretty dated. I'll just turn her on. Oh God, that rumble, it sounds so good. Yeah, so it's a downgrade in that regard. I don't have the toggle switches down here like I did in the premium trim on the Ecoboost, so I don't have all the settings for the different drive modes. It does have a setting for steering wheel modes, or for, you know, for how aggressive the steering is. So it has, you know, what my Ecoboost had: sport, normal, comfort, all that. So it allows you to disable traction control, and then, while it doesn't have a sport mode, if you tap it twice, it's not doing it. It was. Usually if you tap it twice, it will, I don't know. It'll go into sport mode. I did it yesterday, and yeah, I'm not sure. It'll say sport mode with traction control off or something like that. So there is a sport plus-ish mode. This has, you know, it's a 6-speed automatic, so it has the same settings as my Ecoboost did in that regard. It has sport mode, drive, all the other basic ones. So let me try something. Oh, there we go. Sport advanced track sport mode. That's what I was looking for. I guess I had to put it in drive to get it to do that. But so it has those features, which makes it a little less difficult to swallow. I mean, it's not hard to swallow the interior downgrade when the motor is such an upgrade regardless, but that also was nice that it does have some tricks up its sleeve. Other than that, what this does have that my Ecoboost did not have is, under track apps, it has line lock. It has everything else. It has the accelerometer, acceleration timer, brake performance. It has line lock though, which my Ecoboost did not have, which is pretty cool. And other than that, you know, the gauges aren't here anymore because it's not the performance pack. It still looks nice. It still has that nice dash trim that the Ecoboost had. And other than that, it looks pretty similar to the cabin in my Ecoboost. And that's the other thing. So this is not it's not the premium, and it doesn't have the performance package. And I'm kind of glad it doesn't have the performance package, because driving this, you would think this would be a rougher ride. This is actually a smoother ride than my Ecoboost was. And I think that's because even before I put lowering springs on my Ecoboost, it had a stiff suspension because it had the Ford Performance springs on it. And that's why when I transitioned to lowering springs, I really didn't notice that much of a difference in how the car handled. But this, without the performance package, it is so smooth to drive. Like, I couldn't believe it. And yeah, so I'm kind of I'm bummed I don't have those center gauges anymore, because I thought those looked awesome, even though they weren't necessarily functional. Like, I remember the boost gauge was all the way over here, and I would have to I'm not going to be looking all the way over there to look at the boost gauge. But I'm cool with it. Other than that, it also doesn't have climatronic controls. It just has a basic, you know, air conditioning and heat setup. Not the end of the world. You know, the seats are cloth, so they're not air conditioned or heated. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And, you know, other than that, it's pretty, you know, similar to how my Ecoboost was. It was not a huge culture shock when I got in this guy, except for the rumbling V8, which I guess really that's all I have to say at this point. This is just a basic overview. So I guess I'll close this out with a quick exhaust rev.